news network. Took a little while to go live. I don't know what was going on with that. How are you? It's Wednesday, May 8th. When we last left our story, it was Monday, May 6th, and it was a brand new moon in Taurus. As you can see, as most of you know, I think, well, those of you that are here right now, I'm in a new place. And, just acknowledging and honoring that life is about change. I just stepped on bubble wrap. That's what there's stuff everywhere. How you doing? What's going on? How was your day? Are you doing all right? Hello from Maine. We've got two people from Maine. We got Cheryl Clark and Jackie from Maine. I'd give anything to find the things that I need to locate, but it'll all come together eventually. All of you who have moved know what that's like. It's like, geez, I'd give anything to find my toothbrush. It'll all work out. So, you see Elliot? Elliot's here. Judy's hiding somewhere. I actually haven't moved my office here yet. I'm doing that in the morning. I have movers coming in the morning because we had a Main Street paving situation going on. But anyway, enough about that. Marjorie Trader Green just suffered a humiliation. I'm looking for the sympathy. I'm looking for sympathy. Can I muster up some sympathy for Marjorie Trader Green? No, I don't have any sympathy for traders. So, my impression of what's going on with the formerly known as the Republican Party right now, that's very funny, right? Sympathy for Marjorie Trader Green. I have a lot of other thoughts about that. Oh, wait. Betty the Bunny wants to come over, so hang on. We gotta have Betty. The gang's all here. See, I just want y'all to feel like, everything's normal. No sympathy for Marjorie Trader Green. Nope, none. None. We only have sympathy for nice people. Right? The Republicans are mad at her. We're going to read on that. We're going to read on what's going on with that. Be prepared for them to get more badly behaved. Where's Libby? I haven't moved everything yet. I had a snafu with moving my office, but that's happening at 9 o'clock in the morning. And everything will be here. My keyboards and everything will be here. Hope she gets voted out. I also don't have my pendulum. Oh, but I have this. This will work. You discover new things when you move. Do I think the Republicans will try to get rid of what? Of her? Oh, thank you. Warren's like, sorry, I can't help you move. That's what movers are for. Okay, so let's ask if she's going to be, will Marge be voted out of her position? I'm getting a yes on that. I feel like she's going to be voted out. Jackie's saying, no, they won't get rid of her. Who's the psychic? I'm just joking. When you say no, they won't get rid of her, are you going from your psychic impression yourself, or are you going from just your logic? Because I'm getting that she's going. I'm getting that she's going. I moved right down to the next street. Mary's asking. It was time, I needed to change I kind of was kind of forced to change, but it's an upgrade. Trump just posted. I feel like she's going to be ousted. Trump just posted a long message how much he loves her. Does he want to marry her? Hang on, the chat froze. All right, you're back. Too narrow a margin for... Are you talking about the vote? Because I didn't really catch the vote. Too narrow a margin for what? Because I didn't hear it was a narrow margin. I heard that it was... The Marge had a large margin. She got booed. I did hear that little bit. Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure to do readings for PNN. It's also my pleasure to do readings for you guys personally. I do this for free, but I'm soliciting business too to help me pay my bills. All right, let's do this. PsychicAnnetteDion.com if you want to know more about that. The question that we're going to ask. The Repubs have to keep her in. They need to keep Marge in her. Oh, I don't think it's the Republicans that are going to oust her. Yeah, Rose, I don't get, that's not what I'm saying. I don't think she'll remain in her seat. Just had a wonderful tea leaf reading. Diana did. Yeah, Diana just had a wonderful tea leaf reading. And actually, speaking of the tea leaf reading, Kitty Holler, pay those bills. We have to have me show up. I just have to have you guys book sessions. And Diana's just saying that she... Oh, and donate too. And I really appreciate it. All the ways that you all help me, I really appreciate it. Because I didn't have my cup that I usually use, and as you can tell, I've no rings or anything. I can't find anything. My nails are a mess. Anyway, it'll all come together. I'm using this for our tea leaf reading, and it worked out pretty well. Please hit the thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel as we read on Marjorie Trader Green. We're just going to read on what's going to transpire from this. I'm not really picking up that she thought it would work. Warren's in the chat. Thomas is asking about you, Warren. We're like a family. If you're new here, we're like a family. 5 congressmen will quit to stop MAGA Mike. They will freeze Marjorie Trader Green out. She wasn't a donor weekend. Catherine, you were the one that was saying on Monday that 5 Republicans will resign over this, right? In some way. 3 cards about Marjorie Trader Green, how she's feeling right now. I don't feel like she's surprised that she didn't meet with success. Let's see. I'm going to pull 3 cards about Marjorie. She has another trick up her sleeve. I don't know what it is. We can look into it, but I get that she has another trick up her sleeve. And just know that we're seeing it, we're hearing it. They're telling us that they're not going to concede an election in which Donald Trump doesn't win, right? Can I get a witness? They're not saying that they will concede and accept an election that Donald Trump doesn't win. They are saying that. So behind the scenes, I feel like first off, I don't feel like Marge is surprised that she didn't succeed in ousting MAGA Mike. So she probably already knew it wouldn't work. We have a timeout for a dad joke. Kid, Dad, can you put my... Hang on. We do dad jokes here. Can you put my shoes on, Dad? No, I don't think they'll fit me. That's something a dad would say to a kid. Yeah, Catherine, exactly. They're planning to flip the vote if Biden wins. It's better that we know the plan. It's better that we know exactly what they are going to do. They are telling us. They are telling us. This is like a test from the universe of Americans. Do we want democracy or do we not want democracy? Because if they're saying, we're going to steal the election and we're not going to accept it if Donald Trump doesn't win, and we are attempting to overthrow democracy, and we don't want this country to devolve into more democracy, right? They are just telling us exactly what it is. And so since they're telling us exactly what it is, I want you to know that Marge didn't think that this would work. Okay, so that gives me the sense that she did it for PR. Democracy, From this point forward, I'm living in the present. Is that a dad joke? We sing about that at Church of Spirituality. Marge, judgment. She has another plan up her sleeve. But there's something about having that vote on the floor, calling that vote, that's part of it. That's part of the plan. Damon, hey, how's it going? Two of Pentacles, it's part of a bigger plan. That was step one. I'm picking up that she wants to get Mike Johnson out of the way, and this is just the first attempt. She did it for the base. That's what I'm... Catherine, you're right on it tonight. Catherine Lopez. Johnson and her are planning worse things. Yeah, that's what I'm getting too. Are you reading cards, or are you also a psychic, or what? What's going on there? Candy dad joke. Did you hear about the guy who invented lifesavers? They say he made a mint. And the Dems know. Well, I know. I have orbs flying around. They're fake orbs. I guess I could tell you they're real, but they're fake. I have a star machine. See, you can see him. You can see him. You can see Mr. Astronaut sticking out from behind the curtain there. Yeah, Catherine, you're right on. You're getting exactly what I'm getting. Are you a practicing psychic too? She wants to see who is there. Okay, so anyway, so this is just the beginning of her grand plan. And the Four of Cups is indicating she's kind of missing something though. And I think it's what Catherine Lopez up there was saying. I think she's missing that the Dems know what's going on. And the Judgment card said the Dems know what's going on. The Dems know what's going on. It's a test. Yeah. It was a test. I'm just looking for a little bit more. I'm looking for more of like the timeline of the plan that they have. But they're fumbling. They're fumbling a lot. The Republicans are fumbling a lot. They're going to be fumbling a lot. They're going to be very, very sloppy and all that. All right, if we're going to do a group hug, we need to intend something. She is so I thought you were saying she's so Putin. And on Monday night when I was reading on Marge, I saw that she was on the phone with Viktor Orban. That's what's going on. And I know that Trump has been on the phone with Putin. Yep. Okay, so we're going to do a group hug. You fixed your sound, that's good. Just so you know, I'm on my mini iPad. It's not really easy to see. My other one's not working for these live streams. Since I got a Church of Spirituality YouTube channel, it's getting really screwed up. Okay, happy hump day. Group hug, that we come together powerfully and save our democracy. 1, 2, 3. Group hug. Yes. I'm going to crack open a window. You'll be able to hear the seagulls. Just so you know, I promised you seagulls. Sometimes I'll live stream from upstairs too. So, how's it going to go for these radical Putin Republicans in general? How's the plan going to go? Because we feel the plan. We feel the plan behind the scenes. Yes, we do. Not only behind the scenes, right in front of us. Question. It seems like Trump is winning with the RICO case and the classified documents cases. The Florida judge postponed the start date. Yep, Georgia Supreme Court agreed to hear his appeal. Yes, this is all true, 21 true. I'm very aware, 2 true. I like your handle. Very aware of all those things, and that's what we're looking at. Kitty, y'all are so sick of being scared. Join Grassroots of Democracy. Because we get into action. We use that energy. Fear is a great motivator. 3 cards about... I mean, it is obvious, right? It is obvious. Kathy Beale's in the house for a brief amount of time. She had a question for me. We did go over this stuff yesterday at Spirit Talk Podcast. Kitty Holler's here because Kitty Holler is scared. Well, we don't have to be scared. We just have to be paying attention. Enough people have to say no to this. All right. So as far as the Putin Republicans go and how this whole plan is going to go for them. Yeah, 2 questions, but they're related, sort of. Yeah, but first, I'll get to them next. 4 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. The Putin Republicans aren't really confident that their plan will work. Thank you, Rondaroo. They're not confident that their plan will work. They're holding back. So I guess this vote was a test. I guess this vote was a test. They're not confident that it will work. They're not confident that they'll get away with what they're attempting to do. They would need for the judicial system to just keep being messed with in order for their plan to work. Hang on a second. Do we have any wrenches? Thank you for being wrenches. I always forget to thank you. The star is a strong America. The Putin Republicans aren't quite sure their plan is going to work. That's why this is the reason they keep testing the waters. Doug Noble, not worried about the outcome of PIS, it's taking so long. The star is a woman. Yes. Yeah. Good observation. The women are going to take Trump down. We've always seen that. There's a lot of evidence against the Putin Republicans, including the direct links to Russia. The proof, the evidence, the receipts about the direct links to Russia. They're all there. Let me, Kathy Beale is in the house. Get an astrology reading. She needs 2 of them for us to do the next show. There's a quota now. And the question is, what do I see as the effect of Judge Cannon indefinitely delaying the documents case and of the Georgia Appeals Court accepting Trump's appeal of not disqualifying Fani Willis? Okay. I feel like the January 6th case is going to trial this summer. I feel like it's going to be in August. And I have my necklace pendulum. This is a necklace I've had this forever. I never wear it because I don't wear gold, but very often. But this is citrine and moldavite. I feel like the January 6th trial will happen. They promised Trump what? What did they promise Trump? Is the January 6th trial going to happen this summer? Yes, I do get that. Okay, so even though the Putin Republicans are making all these plans to overthrow democracy, let's just tell it like it is. That's the effect of those two other cases stalling. January 6th is going to trial. Yeah, they're not too smart, by the way. They make plans that don't really work out. You get a strong yes as well. Yeah. And I feel like the United States justice system is very aware and becoming more and more aware every single day that they have to join forces and share notes and share evidence and share receipts and share approaches to deal with what's going on here. So bit by bit, more and more, incrementally, the judicial system in the United States of America are on to the game plan. It's kind of like a whodunit in the sense of, if you were, what's that game that people, murder mystery, they're putting it all together. Catherine, give me a break. I'm not even moved in yet. I'm just teasing, but I'm not even completely moved to put a crystal in the window. I'll get there. I'll get to it. Here's a crystal. I'll put it in the window. Okay? Love you. Dad joke. I used to work in it's amazing that I've shown up for BNN, but I wouldn't do that to you guys. I wouldn't just drop out. I used to work in a blanket factory, then it folded. Where's my bell? Anyway, know thy enemy. The United States judicial system, they're getting together because they're actually becoming aware and getting to know the enemy more and more. The enemy is our citizens of the United States that are in positions of leadership, especially, that have decided to overthrow democracy. They're not like goofing around anymore in terms of, oh, well, maybe they're doing that. So the justice system is taking a new approach, and they are formulating that new approach right now. And I feel like Judge Chutkan, who's in charge of the January 6th trials, is kind of leading the way. It's kind of leading the way. Let's see. I want to read about the Republicans who are getting on television and saying that instead of answering the question, would you concede that Trump lost in the next election if he in fact gets lower numbers of votes? And they're saying no. So I'm going to read on them. I'm going to read on them. You've heard the strategy from other readers? Yeah, well, that's what I'm picking up too true also. Please subscribe and hit the thumbs up. Chutkan is taking care of all pre-trial motions, etc. while we wait on the SCOTUS. Yeah, I'm feeling like she's getting the game plan together. It's torture to the larger population to have to watch or hear any more about the loser. All right, and here's my perspective on that. We have to, in the United States of America, we have to recognize that on January 7th, 2021, we almost lost everything. And that keeps things in perspective. Right? I'm going to pull 3 cards about what will happen when the hammer starts coming down, when the gavel starts coming down. When the gavel starts coming down. Oh, Dave, you just came out of left field. Do you see a change of government in Cuba this year? It's all I can do to cover America right now. I don't see a change of the government in Cuba. I see it being on its way to change, but not this year. So I'm gonna pull 3 cards about how the judicial system in America being on to what they're doing, trying to overthrow democracy. It's kind of a dual question. How we're gonna do. Trump is gonna get louder and more criminal, and the 7 of Wands and the 5 of Cups. All right, let me just put it this way. Let me put it this way. We're all going to suffer a little bit. And it's kind of like basically what people are saying in the chat. We can't listen to Trump's voice anymore. We can't take it anymore. We're all going to suffer a little bit. This is why it's so important to focus on Team Normal. The Biden administration is knocking it out of the park. America is awesome without MAGA. So the lighter the light gets, the brighter the light gets, the more the darkness is going to wreak havoc. So we're all going to suffer a little. That's how I'm going to put it. We're all going to suffer a little. It's not going to be an easy year. I mean, we were getting ready for this year for a while. Right? Thank you for greeting people, Gigi, and the rest of you. Trump is going to continue to harass, because he's an ass. And that's putting it mildly. And then we hear, somebody's mentioning RFK saying he has a worm in his brain. I mean, it's like you can't make this stuff up. Rhonda loves you all. I love this group too. We are family. Yes, we are. Mother, brother, sister, and me. You know what I saw last night? There's a documentary. We may have talked about it. He was swearing in his trial Monday. Yeah, what a loser. He's a loser. What I saw last night, there's a documentary. I didn't get to watch the whole thing, but on Netflix about the making of "We Are the World" of that song. We're family, we're family. We're coming together. Yeah, Robert Kennedy. We have to hold hands and help each other, right? Just virtually. Okay. I'm going to switch cards because I'm going to read on, we're going to read the Witch's Tarot. I'm going to read on Judge Chutkin and see where she stands. And then I'm going to read on Jack Smith. But I'm reading the witch cards. Yeah. Robert Kennedy said he had a dead worm in his brain. I don't know. The GOP convention will be in Milwaukee, not too far from Chicago. Maria's saying. Let's see. My husband told me RFK had a worm in his brain, but it grew there and died. I mean, honestly, I'm not reading on the worm in his brain right now. I'm reading on Judge Chutkin. Yeah, so then there's a Netflix documentary about the making of "We Are the World," and the whole time I'm watching it, I have to admit, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about my song that I'm putting the finishing touches on Friday. We've got to come together. Got to come together, people. But that was a really inspiring documentary. It's a little slow moving, but check it out on Netflix about the making of We Are the World. Too true. You took what you were saying away. I'm reading on Judge Chutkin. Judge Chutkin and Jack Smith have similar go after it kind of energy. Like no fooling around. Paula's in the chat. Paula, you need to sign up for my class. I don't know why Robert Kennedy is... We'll read on that after we read on this. I don't know why Robert Kennedy is out there saying that a worm ate his brain. We'll get to it. Dad joke. Spring is here. I got so excited I wet my plants. Oh my gosh. Catherine Lopez is asking Kathy and our astrologer, did the wheel turn Monday night astrologically or is it just me? Yes. Watch our show. We are the children. We are the ones to make a brighter day. So let's start giving. I'm reading on Judge Chutkin. Yes, everyone's in agreement that this is exhausting. Everyone's also in agreement. I mean, in the justice system, everyone's also in agreement that they're missing opportunities to take these criminals down. The energy's off the charts, yeah. So, and speaking of the wheel turning, what they're discussing now is how to get really stronger and harsher. It's never been required before. We live in times that are, I'm not going to say the word everyone says, but we live in different times. And so Judge Chutkin this is wearing the justice system now, because that's what fascism does. An attempted authoritarian takeover of a democracy needs the component of taking down the justice system. That's what they're looking at. Judge Chutkin and Jack Smith. It's not like they're going, gee, I wonder what these people are doing. Why are they misbehaving? It's not that at all. They are aware that they're in the midst of an attempted authoritarian takeover. And they have to change strategy. And they've missed opportunities because we're used to having a judicial system that relies on certain people adhering or following the rules to a certain degree, right? So Judge Chutkin is aware of the missed opportunities, and it's taken a toll. But the Wheel of Fortune is like, it feels a little bit like once they hit their stride, once they all get on the same page and they really hit their stride with how to attack this, how to fight back. We're going to read too on, speaking of that. I've been seeing Judge Merchan putting Trump in jail for a short period of time. So let's see if I have over 8,000 subscribers. Thank you. And please subscribe if you haven't already. They're afraid of putting a so-called president in jail. Yeah, see, that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. That's exactly the kind of thing that I'm talking about. I'm talking about, yeah, well, in the past, they wouldn't have put an ex-president in jail. But this president is working for Putin, past president. Is Trump going to have to spend some time in jail because of his violating the gag order? Today it's saying no. I feel like it was discussed, it was decided to do it, but it would delay things. It would delay things. He's a different animal. He's called a monster. This is the Witch's Tarot. People are admiring this deck, the Witch's Tarot. When you move, you kind of discover things that you, you thought you lost. That's the positive about it. There's a first time for everything, but understanding that they don't want things to get delayed. And I'm getting the sense too, yes, that he was going to put Trump in jail for violating the gag order, but I feel like there's another plan, an alternative plan being made. Could the judge delay the trial time to be served at the end of the trial? What do you mean? Could the judge delay the jail time to be served at the end of the trial? Not sure I understand. Okay. Jack Smith. So that was about Chutkin. You wonder if every time a judge wants to put Donald Trump in jail, he will get a threat on his life. Well, it doesn't take a psychic, Von Blue, right? Right? Am I right? It doesn't take a psychic. There's not one time in how many years that I've ever gotten, just to be clear. Let me emphasize this. So Von Blue is saying, I wonder if every time a judge wants to put Donald Trump in jail, he will get a threat on his life. Not just one. Every single time. Now I lost the chat. Every single time. I'm going to read on Jack Smith now. Every single time. It's the Putin influence. Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm in agreement with you, and I'm emphasizing, putting emphasis on it. Without fail, every single time. That's what we're in. Let's take a moment and just remember a time, say 20 years ago, if you heard that judges were getting death threats, you'd be like, oh my God, really? And now we've morphed into, of course they're getting death threats. We need to save our country. Yes, Richard Nixon looks like a choir boy compared to Trump. How about J.D. Vance out there being asked, are you sure you want to be Trump's VP pick since he almost got Mike Pence assassinated? Honestly. Nixon didn't try to get somebody assassinated. Dad joke. What do you call someone who, with nobody and no nose, nobody knows? No body and no nose, nobody knows. This is about Jack Smith. Jack Smith, make sure you watch Spirit Talk podcast from yesterday because Kathy and I went over this. And it's confirmed. Jack Smith is working behind the scenes. He's no dummy. He's no dummy. New plan for Trump holding him from end of court to midnight. Yeah, I do feel like he'll be put in jail for a couple of hours, even though the pendulum said no. I'm gonna retest that. Cannon has been outed for pulling a Clarence Thomas. That's true. Okay, so as far as Jack Smith is working behind the scenes on a lot of stuff. Yes, he's playing 3D chess. I totally agree, Angela. He has a lot of plans made to save democracy. A long time ago I told you when Jack Smith first got appointed special counsel, I got that he was George Washington in his past life. No, Nixon didn't, but only sabotage the peace negotiations with Vietnam. Yeah, all we're talking about right now is the preponderance of death threats. We weren't talking about Vietnam. Just to be clear. Dad joke, did you hear about the chameleon who couldn't change color? He had a reptile dysfunction. I need a break to laugh. But bum. Sorry. Erectile dysfunction. Did you make that up out of your own head? We needed it. We're talking about death threats and Vietnam and stuff. As far as Jack Smith goes, yeah, he's got it all figured out. I'm just going to tell you, he's got it all figured out. Yeah, Joan, I'm just talking about death threats. I'm not talking about all the bad things that Nixon, or just stay on topic. I love you all. Six of Cups. Jack Smith he's ready. He is ready. And he's on the documents case. But it's all tied together. It's all connected. Can I do a day where I do a check-in with those who have passed and see what they're thinking and offering for advice to us? I've done that before. Have you ever seen me do that? Channeling? The last one was on July 4th. For 2 years in a row now. Jack is so smart, but Jack definitely needs assistance. This is just coming out of my mouth, as everything. Jack needs assistance for whatever it's worth, the information that's coming to me now is Jack needs assistance from the military, and I don't know what that means. It might be that I'm picking up on he needs our intelligence agencies, but I that's what I'm picking up. Jack Smith needs help from the military. You still have your notes from a while back when I channeled some people from the past. So there's the evidence. Oh, cool. That's cool, Bun Blue. Thanks. I'll do it again at some point. Don't lose faith. Don't ever lose faith, Jersey Jan. It's been nearly a year when the last time I connected. Court Marshal Mike Flynn, I agree. Shall we go back to the nefarious cards? Wait, didn't I promise to read on somebody? Did I forget who it was? Dad joke. What does Forrest Gump use as a password? 1 Forrest 1. We heard that one the other night. Maybe it was when you weren't here. You're here to get hope. Want some hopey changey? That's what Sarah Palin. This all started with Sarah Palin. I'm blaming her. I can see Russia from my house. Speaking of documentaries, I watch a lot of documentaries when I'm hanging out with my folks, just to watch something. So there's a geography show on, and it was talking about, like, at certain times of the year, you can walk across the ice from Alaska to Russia. Did you know that? No, was there something I was going to read on? Somebody beat you to the punchline. Yes, Thomas, I think somebody said that one the other night when you weren't here. So you got to stake your claim, man. You have to show up. Oh, thank you. You like how the room looks? I'm really in the thick of things. I wonder what people think of all this little show on my shelf there. Let's read on the right-wing media extremist. Fani Willis will be fine. Don't worry about Fani. Yes, Damon. Right. I didn't know that Russia was so close that when it was really very, very cold and the water was frozen, you could just walk to Russia. You could skate to Russia. Yes, you could skate to Russia from Alaska. All right. Thank you, Rhonda. The right-wing extremist media, what's up with them? And just in general, the Charlie Kirks, I mean, the most heinous people imaginable. All right. They're ugly and awful. I mean, this is what it's like. If you were hanging out with a group of these right-wing extremists like Steve Bannon and, they have these, and Charlie Kirk, and they're just like, they're just disgusting, horrible, miserable people, right? You wouldn't want to have anything to do with them. What do you call a man with a rubber toe? Roberto. Yeah, thanks, because I'm getting into like Steve Bannon energy here. You wouldn't want anything, you wouldn't want to hang out with them, you wouldn't want to, talk to them, you wouldn't want, they just be on the like planet lowlife. And they're just having a great time, just lying, that just like, they know that they're lying to one another, they're lying to their listeners and their viewers, they're lying, they're creating like this big clique of just slime, gross negativity. Thank you. I like my space a lot. And it's just gross. And it's like, it's almost like they love being popular and that's why they do it. What's Fox showing? What is Fox showing about the trial? So these right-wing media extremists, the lover card's coming up. They love each other. They're in a slime bucket party, and they just love it. They love bonding together and just like, I don't know. It's like an insult to pigs, but it's like they're all pigs and they're hanging out in this mucky, slimy mud. And they just love playing together. And we have a world to take care of. It's disgusting. But that's their fuel. That's what they're going on. They're literally fueling one another. The right-wing extremists that have media, they're just loving the darkness. I mean, I guess you could think of it as like you see these depictions of hell, right? Birds of a feather, exactly. You see these pictures of hell, right? These depictions of hell, and it's like all the demons are just being hedonists and, like that. They just love, they get off on being that evil and miserable and gross and disgusting. They get a charge out of it. It's a weird thing. It's a sad thing, too. They continue Yes. You hope, Maria. I hope they continue to love hanging out together in prison. Yeah. Yes, Paul, you said it. I would never want to, I don't want to accidentally delete you. I would never want a job where I would willingly sell my soul week after week, year after year. It's a bad thing. Charlie Kirk is married? No, I've got to read this. He's married, his wife is older, they have a child, he's doing okay in his personal life and there's nothing to complain about. I'm trying to think of if you can compare it to it's like a gang. It is like a gang. The GOP is trying to defund Jack Smith, the DOJ, and yeah, they're very sick. Did you know the first French fries weren't actually cooked in France, they were cooked in Greece? Yes, they were cooked in Greece. All right. Betty's switching to TV. Really? TV's better than this? I'm gonna have to work a little harder. Thank you for being here, and please hit the thumbs up, and thank you for hitting the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. There's no obligation. You're going to show up and hang out at the party. The fun party. The good people party. Okay, let's see. Trump. I'm just going to pull 3 cards on Trump. We do think, thank you for hitting the thumbs up. We do think he's losing his mind. We do think he's extremely unstable. I mean, we've got Robert Kennedy with a worm in his brain, and we've got Donald Trump with does he have a worm in his brain too? That's a question we need to ask. Don't leave. I'm not leaving. Kitty Holler keeps saying don't leave. I'm not leaving. I'm right here. See, I'm right here. Take a breath. Does Donald Trump have a worm in his brain too? Does he? He doesn't have a worm in his brain. Your mom needs you? Yes, tend to your mom. I understand that. Yeah, I understand. I have to check in on my mom every night too. That's why I end up watching documentaries and stuff. Sarah with an H. All I heard in my head was Pink Floyd's "Hey You," and the worms are into his brain. No, Donald Trump doesn't have a worm in his brain. It's just Robert Kennedy. I don't even know why he was saying that. I'm going to pull cards about that. Why did Robert Kennedy tell people he had a worm in his brain? I'm telling you, 20 years ago, if you heard this stuff, I mean, if you could just go to yourself 20 years ago, what you would be saying if you knew what was coming, you wouldn't believe it. Thank you. You love this channel. Like it's a good thing. Like it's a good thing, right? If I had a worm in my brain, God forbid, I hope that I don't think I'd go tell people. All right, we're gonna ask first why Robert Kennedy went public with that, and then the first thing that I get is he's mentally ill. I've been calling him. We did a reading on him at the very start of him coming onto the scene, Robert Kennedy, and I said he's mentally ill. That might be why he's blaming it on a worm in his brain. I never even heard of such a thing. That's the other thing. I never even heard of such a thing. I mean, I know you can everyone's got parasites and worms to some degree. We don't have to get into it, or has had. But how does he come up with this stuff? Well, let me tell you what it is. Robert Kennedy went about saying such a crazy thing because he's lost his head, methinks. I have to be careful with these cards. They're pretty gruesome. Well, those worms are getting a bad rep. Brainworm sounds like a cheesy sci-fi movie. I know it does. Yes, people do get worms. I know. But if you had a worm in your brain, would you tell people? Would you seriously? If you were running for president of the United States, wouldn't you maybe, not that you should hide it, but wouldn't you maybe not tell people? Here's why he did it. Because he needs to figure out a reason to tell people why he seems compromised. Yeah, I know it's crazy. That's why we're here together. Biden is in Wisconsin, and then we have Team Normal over here. We're gonna read on Joe Biden eventually. With Biden being in Wisconsin, do I think he will win that state? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Biden's gonna win in a landslide, and they're not gonna accept it. But I don't see Trump running for president. I know you might say to me that he is, but he's actually on trial. He's not really running for president, Trump. I don't know who you're talking about there. And let's do this. So Robert Kennedy had to explain I guess he had some missteps, and I don't listen to him speak. I can't tolerate. I'm reading on Robert Kennedy right now. Warren, you being pushy? I'll push back. No, it's not guilt. No, this is more like he had to cover. He felt like he had to cover. He had to have some excuse for glitching. Robert Kennedy, I'm talking about. And he's trying to build. I'm actually getting. I don't know why, but I'm getting that Robert Kennedy is looking for an out. That's what I'm getting. He's been doing a lot of flip-flopping. Nobody knows what's up with him. They don't even know like who would benefit from people voting for him because he's not going to win. And Robert Kennedy he's not well. He's all over the place. He's all over the place. Do you think glass coffins will be a success? Remains to be seen. Yes. I'm glad you're here at PNN, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, every single week. We're the home of the dad jokes and the group hugs. But I do feel like Robert Kennedy is an absolute mess, and he can't keep his head together. I don't think he's sleeping. Yeah, mental illness runs in the Kennedy family. I did see that. We're aware of that, and you know, it's like alcoholism. Some people are more predisposed. It doesn't mean you'll get that, but we are glad to be here at PNN. Yes, I'm glad to be with you. So we're going to, so as far as Robert Kennedy goes, I feel like he's losing his faculties, kind of, and so he had to come up with something. And I feel like he's a little bit disconcerted because he can't really keep things in control. Which is what I say about the onset of dementia too. Is that when somebody, it's a very sad thing, when somebody starts to get dementia, they're very distraught because they feel like they're losing control. I'm not saying he has dementia, but he could. Kennedy always looks like he got up on the wrong side of the bed. I think he's highly compromised. And I don't think he'll stay in the race. Earth Mama says, I like your new office. Thank you. I mean, it's not officially my office, but I'm working on it. I've got stuff everywhere. In fact, I'm having a good time taking a break. The movers are moving my office tomorrow. My office stuff. I got a lot to set up. I'm reading on Trump now. He needs a reason to drop out. Yeah. But not only does Robert Kennedy need a reason to drop out, not only that. Imagine this. Imagine that you're supposed to give a performance or be on the stage debating, right? And you know that you could make potentially, you know the likelihood of you making a fool out of yourself is very, very, very high. You would be looking for an out. Unless your name is Trump. And then you wouldn't be looking for an out. Then you'd be like, bring it on, I'll make an ass out of myself, right? I don't care. It's all about the attention. Doesn't matter what kind. All right, we have a good group here tonight. Thank you for being here. I much appreciate it. Please donate if you can. I have bills to pay. Let's read on Trump. And then we have to be fair and we have to read on Biden after that, and then we'll go. Why do vampires like to bite musicians? Because they have a strong beat. I don't know if I like that one. But Donald Trump. People are saying they like Midas Touch Network, which is MTN. What's ECM? I'm having a hard time figuring out what ECM is an acronym for. Thank you to all the other countries in the chat. Yes, thank you for coming. The first time I went to my dentist, he said my teeth looked beautiful, but the second time he said they looked hideous. Apparently, only the first exam is complimentary. I can't find my toothbrush. All the more reason to unpack it. All right, three Trump cards. If you're brand new here, I just moved. Oh yeah, I don't know who that is, ECM. I'll have to look. Donald Trump. Donald Trump is holding on to secrets. He's holding on to secrets. Well, he ignorantly, the loser ignorantly feels like the plan that they're putting in place is going to work. and I think it's too complicated to work. I think the plan that Trump thinks is going to work is way too complicated to work. I mean, look at it this way. January 6th was too complicated. You bet he sold documents? Doesn't take a psychic. Right? That's what I like to say. Now. Yeah, Kathy Beale's giving you some competition there, Thomas. Let's read on Biden. Actually, let's read these cards. Let's read the Llewellyn Tarot, which I haven't pulled out in a very long time. I packed a lot of tarot cards. It was a heavy box. Okay, Chuck is back. Read Chuck's quotes. Okay, we're going to read on Joe Biden and the Biden administration and their campaign and everything before we go. Oh, and I have tea leaves. I almost forgot. How can you tell when a vampire is homesick? He's always talking about his neck of the woods. That's good. Okay, hit it. All right. The Biden administration. I mean, Biden's going to win in a landslide. Let's just establish that. Biden is going to win in a landslide. That's not the issue. The issue is what are they going to do? What are the Putin people going to do? We'll call them the Putin people. The peepees. The Putin peoples. How's the campaign doing? Well, Biden is on top financially. The fool card is that the more that Trump acts like a fool, the more Biden's on top. The heaviest load, I always get this, is the fake news. That's the biggest burden, is the fake news. But King of Pentacles, he is on top. He is on top. Okay, I'll check out ECM. Yeah, he is on top. The burden is, it's a lot of work. It's a whack-a-mole to whack away the lies. I mean, they're really, Russia is going at it. Brainwashing the hell out of people. So it's a big burden, and but they know that the more that Trump acts like he's deranged, because he is. If he calls somebody else deranged, that means he's deranged. Every single thing out of Trump's mouth is a lie. All right. Biden's doing fine. We just have to give him a lot of support and a lot of love and light. We have tea leaves to read, so while I'm getting ready to read the tea leaves, I just want to say that you want a reading. How is Putin's health these days? You have to understand, Bond Blue, that Putin is not the same person every time. So when people ask me that, I'm like, well, which one? Yeah, every single thing that Trump says is a projection. When he's saying something nasty about somebody, it's a projection. Notice I didn't talk about the Stormy Daniels thing and everything. Maybe I'll make it a policy. I'm not going to talk about what everybody else is talking about incessantly. Okay. I have a new cup. Before I read the tea leaves, PsychicAnnetteDion.com. If you have any questions about your life, you need to just book a reading. It's soup to nuts. I give you everything. Also, I have a course coming up. People are asking me questions that are just, we're finishing now. Dad joke, why did the turkey cross the road? To prove it wasn't a chicken. All right. Grassrootsofdemocracy.com is where you join us to save our democracy. And Church of Spirituality meets every single Sunday at our new channel at Church of Spirituality. And when you become a member of this channel, oh, Thomas wasn't scraping the bottom of the barrel. That was a good one. When you become a member of the channel, you get an affirmation in your inbox every single day. It's an awesome way to start the day. And at the higher levels, you get invited to a psychic party once a month. So check it out. Thank you for being here, and thank you for hitting the thumbs up. And I'm on Substack. So Grassroots of Democracy group is on Substack. Please go there and subscribe. It's free. Why did the chicken cross the road? To show the possum it could be done. Church of Spirituality will I almost said save your life. It will change your life for the better. Okay, what I see here, I might start using these cups because it's really a lot easier to see the tea leaves. CNN is turning. I hope for the better. I hope CNN is turning for the better. I see a woman. I don't know if you can see this. That looks like the Statue of Liberty. Democracy will prevail. This is the Statue of Liberty. And I also saw that as a woman praying. Democracy prevails. It does. It does. I see us going back to being, like there's a, I don't have my pointer. Let me see if you can see this. It's like people getting, the people here, they look like tribal people crouching down on the ground. This is about getting back to our ancestors, getting back to our roots. I see a lot of figures there that have to do with animals, with our tribal nature in a positive way, back to nature. The new moon is in Taurus that we just saw happen on Monday. We're laying, there's a lot of images here. I know, I'm sorry, it's hard to see. I like to show you, but I know it's hard to see. But there's a lot of images here that have to do with laying the groundwork. Dad joke, a Jim Beam warehouse caught fire, destroying 40,000 barrels of bourbon. Warehouse workers were reported to be in low spirits. Oh my gosh. So that's what the tea leaves are saying, that we're going back to our tribal nature to lay the groundwork. To lay the groundwork. Keep your life simple. I love that, Bond Blue. Everything in this world wants you, so please remember this so you don't get so caught up in everything. Good advice. I like it. Also, when you keep your life simple, it's a lot easier to move. It's a lot of disheveledment, but it definitely makes moving a lot easier. Somebody just put up there something about Howard Stern. Check out the Howard Stern interview with Joe Biden. It's really good. And gosh, there's so much more to talk about, but it's already been over an hour. So let's say bye for now. On Thursday, we have our Grassroots of Democracy discussion group. That's tomorrow already. You want to get on board. It's going to lower your anxiety. We address everything that's going on. We discuss it, and we do the work. Right? If you're scared, if you're feeling frightened, that's a sign to get involved. All right? Last dad joke. What's the difference between a bucket and a barrel? A bucket pales in comparison. I love you all. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for subscribing and hitting the thumbs up, and we'll see you again very soon. All right. Please go to the grassrootsofdemocracy.com website. My song about January 6th is there. And please share it. It's really, really, really important message. Namaste. See you later. Thank you.